we're trying to do is get you to invest in Trinidad and Tobago. I've been saying from day one that Trinidad and Tobago is open for business. We are open for business and we welcome you.
We are a small country, we're 1.3 million people, but we are an economic powerhouse really, and we punch above our weight.
The Allen Stanford crisis, the CLICO crisis. What strides have we made? What learnings have we taken from these experiences to make ourselves better prepared going forward?
Well, as I've indicated, there are a number of changes that have taken place from the central bank in terms of enhancing financial stability. And what was key after the CLICO crisis was that we needed to rebuild confidence.
Since the CL problem and the exposure of systemic risk, I must say that the central bank has taken very proactive steps, and institutions like ours have been forced to come up to scratch in bringing our regulatory standards and governance structures up to New York class, which offers our investors, people who put money with us, the assurance, not that there's no risk, but risk is being very carefully managed.
Because it was particularly evident that, as I've said, there were psychological scars on the population coming out of CLICO, and also from the HCU fallout. And the way that, as a central bank, that we could have done that was to do things differently, to show that when it came to supervision, we would have to acknowledge where there may have been some missteps, where we needed to strengthen our supervisory capability, and we also needed to make changes to the legislation, to regulation, and that, as I've said, is in the cards when it comes to insurance. When it comes to the credit unions in particular, we've just had the report coming out of the Commission of Inquiry into the failure, particularly with HCU, and we've used that to make some modifications to the credit union bill that the Minister of Finance has indicated that he would like to take that bill into Parliament, first to a joint select committee in this coming quarter.
One thing that is commonly seen in the financial community when you're making an investment, you want to have a little clearer transparency in terms of the information available surrounding that investment. So from an international investor coming into Trinidad, as well as a local investor in Trinidad within the existing capital markets, what areas should we expect to see from Trinidad in terms of enhancing transparency within the system?
Sure. In the energy sector, the government is a signatory to the Extractive International Industries Transparency Initiative. And we move into the second year of publishing what is our actual tax take from the energy sector. That level of, and that's a very detailed and sophisticated exercise that takes place. The first one that took place last year involved the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank with the energy companies, together with the Ministry of Energy, doing a full reconciliation exercise.
I really believe that Trinidad and Tobago's financial sector in the country's diversification drive offers very serious potential for investors of an international scale to come into our financial sector. So if it's one message I want you to take away here this afternoon or this morning, is that do not let Trinidad and Tobago's small geographic size blind you to the very serious unrealized potential in its financial industry.